Twitter has accepted Elon Musk's $44 billion offer to take the company private and restore it as a free speech platform. The left is melting down as free speech is poised to make a comeback in the Twitterverse. Joining me now is New Hampshire congressional candidate and former assistant press secretary for the Trump administration, Karoline Leavitt. Also with us is Daily Caller reporter and Newsmax contributor, Chrissy Clark. Hi, ladies. Karoline, you first. According to Jen Psaki, reforming Section 230 has always been a top priority for the Biden White House. Watch.
No matter who owns or runs Twitter, the president has long been concerned about the power of large social media platforms, the power they have over our everyday lives, has long argued that tech platforms must be held accountable for the harms they cause. He has been a strong supporter of fundamental reforms to achieve that goal, including reforms to Section 230, enacting antitrust reforms, requiring more transparency, and more. And he's encouraged that there's bipartisan interest in Congress.
Karoline, isn't it strange that Team Biden is now pushing Section 230 reform after free speech is poised to make a comeback on Twitter?
In that clip is a bold-faced liar. Because let me tell you, Chris, when I was in the White House press office 2 years ago and big tech was colluding with the Biden campaign and the Democrat National Committee and all of the one-state bias media outlets to push negative, false stories about Donald Trump and then censor and silence truths about Joe Biden and his corrupt crime family, including Hunter Biden, the Biden administration wanted to do nothing about Section 230 back then. Now, that free speech is reigning, now that Elon Musk has taken this very important step and that free thought might actually reign, they want to use the power of the federal government to suit their needs because they fear what? Losing their power. That's always the end goal of the left, catapulting more power. Psaki is a liar, and this hypocrisy, the people see right through it, and I hope Elon Musk stays true to his word with this promise to allow free speech on this platform.
You and me both. There was an MSNBS commentator saying, man, this is dangerous. This could actually swing an election. Oh, you mean, Hunter Biden laptop the way it did the last election? Chrissy, former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey had a surprising response to the Musk takeover. He tweeted in part, quote, Elon's goal of creating a platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is the right one. This is the right path. I believe it with all my heart. Sounds like even Rasputin himself, after he killed the Hunter Biden laptop story, feels remorse that Twitter has become synonymous with censorship. What do you say?
I say that this is the capitulation of one man that has just completely fallen to the left-wing push that we're seeing. We saw it with the CEO of Disney, where this wasn't exactly what he wanted to do, but he really just didn't have the courage to stand up. So when you look at someone like Elon Musk, they're a martyr to people that maybe do feel this way, but really wouldn't have the stones or the gall to do it when they're in power. And it's unfortunate that more often than not, it's so difficult to stand up for the values that we are supposed to hold near and dear in our hearts as Americans. But it's good on Elon Musk and people like him that have the money, the time, the energy to push for this change and reform that is desperately needed in the town hall of the American, dialogue.
Yeah, I saw somebody on social media today commenting how it's just a shame that all these left-wingers are abandoning social media now that an African-American owns Twitter. I mean, he's from South Africa. Just thought I'd point that out. Karoline, meantime, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos took aim at the only man richer than he is yesterday. He questioned China's leverage over Elon Musk, quickly forced to backtrack, saying that his claims were unfounded. But Bezos has also decried Musk's acquisition of Twitter before the unfounded China comments there. This comes from a guy who dropped $250 million to buy the Washington Post. These people have no sense of self, do they?
No, they absolutely do not. And again, unsurprising to see these comments from Jeff. As you know, Jeff and Elon Musk have been in a little bit of a tit for tat. But I stand on the side of Elon Musk. Again, he is, I hope, doing this for the right reasons. I hope he will allow free speech to truly reign on this platform. And Jeff is welcome to join us. But I know that his publication, the Washington Post, and all of the other media outlets that he owns, unfortunately, will probably continue to push the narratives of the Democrat regime. But as long as we do have folks like Twitter and like Getter and like these other free market truth social platforms that are popping up, our truth, our policies of the right will hopefully break through and the American people will subscribe to them.
Chrissy, last thing. Speaking of Jeff Bezos, tomato, I don't know. The Libs of TikTok creator has been facing harassment and death threats thanks to a Washington Post reporter, Taylor Lawrence, doxing her. Just a few weeks ago, though, Lawrence cried about cyberbullying in an MSNBS interview. This just perfectly illustrates the hypocrisy. Democrats don't like to be treated the way they treat other people. It's an old Salcedo Show axiom that says that liberals often possess qualities in abundance they project onto others. And that's what Taylor Lawrence and, by extension, the Washington Post is all about.
Absolutely. The saddest part about all of this is that mainstream news outlets have actually failed to tell the full scope of this story. They call Libs of TikTok some anti-LGBT advocate, but what she was publishing actually really did get teachers fired because it was awful things that was happening, telling people that it's somehow okay to be attracted to underage people. It's not entirely a bad thing. Yes, you know what? You should lose your job for it. And if you're stupid enough to publish that on TikTok, then yes, you deserve to be punished for that. I feel no sympathy for these teachers. Where I understand that, there's pushback on it is, should we be giving all this credence to teachers, the most radical teachers, when most teachers are not like this? I understand that argument. But for Libs of TikTok to be doxxed for publishing something that already exists on the internet is absolute insanity. It just goes to show how political our journalism atmosphere has become.
And very thin-skinned. Thank you, Chrissy Clark. Caroline Levitt, appreciate the visit, ladies.